Hello there, my Gemini friends. This is Jill with the Healing Moon Tarot, and I'm probably going to shake the camera real quick, but I got to move my cord. All right. Today we are going to do your September 2018 general reading. I have already filmed this, and I already uploaded it, but it would never complete uploading, I should say. And so I just decided that wasn't meant to be, and I'm going to refilm. My camera is being weird with how it's saving files, so I'll have to stop recording if I go over 20 minutes and restart, which has been working out because I've been doing two separate spreads, and it kind of gives me a chance to regroup in between. So let's pull an oracle card for you first. And if you can hear my kids in the background, they are not far away making themselves some breakfast. So, Renewal of Peace, Gemini. That's a beautiful card to come out for our first card. It's kind of what the rest of our reading is going to kind of go along with. I like to pull these cards first to know where we're starting from or what your main energy for the month is. So, Gemini, you may be ready to calm the chaos or calm the stuff and get back to a place where you're feeling a lot more peace within your own being, and just wanting to be in a space that's a lot easier, if that makes sense. So this may be taking time for yourself, being really concerned with self-care, praying, meditating, doing things that fill you with joy, make you feel comfortable, those kinds of things. So we're going to start with pulling some more cards here. In this month, I'm not doing designated places. I'm just pulling some cards and seeing what the story tells us. So we have the Six of Coins coming out first, and this is a card of charity. In general, there's obviously a transaction taking place here between two different class of people, most likely. One who has is giving to one who does not have. So this card to me always comes with a big warning, and it following Renewal of Peace. I feel like that's what I need to share with you today. And the warning is, do not give what you do not have to give away, and do not take more than you need. That's how we can keep our scales balanced in our life, right? So if you're looking for a renewal of peace, more likely than not, you've been giving away things you did not have to give away. So you may be giving time, resources, energy, all of those things to someone or something that you just don't have to give away because you're not taking care of yourself properly, or you're not thinking long term how this could negatively affect you. Now, charity is a beautiful thing, and it's something most of us need to do more of in our life, to selflessly give to others and try to support our community in a selfless way. However, a lot of us can't say no to people and end up getting ourselves in situations where we're giving more than we have to give, and it starts to negatively affect us. Whether, like I said, a lot of times it doesn't have to be financial. This card, it's showing a monetary exchange, but in general readings like this, I like to concentrate more on the overall energy. So this may not directly be a financial situation. It may very well be just resources in general, time, energy, focus, thoughts, feelings. What are you giving to people that you just can't anymore? So coming out in the beginning of this reading with Renewal of Peace, I believe that should be a big focus for you for the month of September. Is reevaluating that and coming to a better understanding of what real charity is. And are you giving to people that shouldn't be asking? Are you giving to people that don't really need? Are you giving what you don't have to give away in the first place? And then we have the Nine of Coins. So I call her my fancy lady. Like every time I see this card, my brain says she's so fancy. Um, but this card isn't necessarily about having like fancy or luxurious things. It's about finding value and comfort in the space that you have. So, like she has her coins beautifully displayed there, and she's surrounded by luxurious things. So, this is finding comfort in your space, appreciating what you have, making sure the things that surround you have true value to you. They're not just in your life because of like consumerism or those kinds of things. So it seems like the month of September may very well be focused on your physical space, your monetary things, your material things, things you possess in general. So this may be a really good time for you to do kind of a fall cleaning. And I know it's not fall yet, and I'm not trying to wish summer away, but it's coming soon. So it may be a good time to take a good look at what's in your home and in your space, clear out things that don't serve you or don't create value and comfort in your life. That may be a good opportunity for you to give to others, find a donation place, a church group, organization, Salvation Army, something that will make you feel good to give things to, or a specific person. And make sure what you're giving away no longer serves you. Do it in a selfless way, and be mindful of not giving away things that do hold value to you and do provide comfort and do allow you to feel peaceful. So in general, that may be a big focus for the month, and I think that's a beautiful energy to have. A lot of us, and just I'm seeing in general, people, at least in my friend groups and so forth, really making a conscious effort to be more aware of their consumerism, being more aware of how they want their home to feel, what they want the stuff that they spend money on to have, getting much wiser about how they're spending money and how they're taking care of their physical space and what really has value to them. And I think it's cool. I think it's great. And through this, we have the High Priestess. But through these behaviors, a lot of times it can bring you to this space. And the High Priestess has a really deep inner knowledge. She's very aware of the dualities in her life, her spirit and her body. And so when I see her, I do see a lot of meditation, self-care, prayer, time to be alone with yourself, with your thoughts, with your feelings, so you can more clearly listen to your intuition, know who you are and who you want to be and how you want your life to be, what feels good and what's right for you as a person. So in the beginning, I said self-care is going to be important. The High Priestess coming out really makes that very important, and that may be why you need to get your home in order and be more wise with how you spend your time and resources to get to this place where you can really get to know all the aspects of yourself and get really clear on how you want to spend your time. Now, if prayer and meditation and those kinds of things aren't your style, sorry, my lighting just changed. I have a light that's on a motion sensor, and to be quite frank, I forget about it until it goes off when I have the camera turned on or something. Sorry. Self-care. That's what I was saying, I believe. If meditation and prayer is not something that you already do, I'm sure you have a way of unplugging. Do you exercise or garden or, whatever that is, that's kind of your thing. And if you don't have a thing like that, that doesn't include being plugged in to TV or the internet or something, I would highly suggest finding a thing and just taking time, even if it's just taking a hot bath for 15 minutes a day without an electronic running. So many of us, music has become so portable and a part of our lives. It's like we carry around this soundtrack with us wherever we go. And I love music, and I believe music is a very healthy, important part of the human experience. However, I think we're in this age where all of us are plugged into something all the time, and we have these outside influences constantly bombarding our brain. And it may be really important for you to find time to unplug and just listen to your own thoughts and feelings for a while, Gemini. And it's amazing how beautiful that energy can be when you really start to allow it to show up more in your life. Our next two cards are the Three of Coins. So we're very coin heavy, again, physical world stuff, and the Six of Swords. So with the Three of Coins, this card to me really brings in a lot of energies of teamwork, compromise, this idea of pulling together of resources. This card the artwork doesn't clearly show it as well as some of the other decks I have, but just to explain it to you, a lot of times it'll be shown with a man who has created something, created a coin, some kind of physical, tangible thing like a product, and he's standing on this bench and he's presenting it in front of other people who seem to be well-dressed and interested in that which he's purchasing. So what are the energies that go into that? Having the foresight to put in work and to be able to proudly present this to other people, and to have other people interested, and the kind of people that would be able to help further this, because it's only a 3, right? And these numbers go from 1 to 10, technically 0, but so this is kind of like a beginning process kind of card. And this is a being willing to put yourself out there in your physical world and communicate with the right kind of people that are going to help progress whatever this is. And so this may be just something in your work life or something in your home life. It may be working on a budget with your spouse or trying to, figure out what the next step is with whatever your career or your hobby or something that you're making and putting into this world. And I also have the Six of Swords here, and this card really talks about moving away from negative thought patterns or negative treatment behaviors. So whether someone in your life has not been treating you well and you're ready to move away from them, so not physically move, I mean maybe, but design your life where this person is no longer able to treat you that way. Some of us, it may be how you're treating yourself, and you're being very conscious in what you're saying to yourself. What's the story you tell yourself about yourself? How do you talk to yourself? Are you abusive to yourself? If you heard someone talking to another person the way you talk to yourself, would you think that was abusive behavior? If your answer is even or you have to think about it, then this may be really important for you to pull in that kind of energy of moving away from that and getting much more conscious about it. So this is, since I'm kind of doing a free flow of how the cards are coming out, I feel very compelled to set the High Priestess up in the center as almost like a focal point with these two down below. It's just how my brain works. So if you ever see me moving cards around and stuff, when I look at the cards, it's kind of like an ink blot test at a psychologist's office or whatever, where the very first thing it makes me think of is important, and I just expand on kind of the definitions of the cards and what the most important thing about that, what was the forefront, what it made me think of first, and that's what I need to talk about. And it almost plays like a story or a movie in my head. And I kind of then cut it down into chapters sometimes or groups with whatever feels right to me. So I know that you probably don't care, but that's why I start to move cards around and how I think about different energies interacting with each other and so forth. So anyway, back to this side here. This may just be getting in a better place when you add these two together. Who are you working with? Who are you creating with? Who are the people that are helping progress your career or progress whatever it is that you work on? And it may just be within your household. If you, like, let's say, are a stay-at-home person, then to me, this is being smarter about who you're working with and negating negative behaviors, whether that's from yourself or someone else, but treating yourself well, having some confidence in yourself, being mindful that you need other people sometimes to progress a situation and make it grow. And you need to be very smart with how you interact with these people, how you're interacting with yourself. You cannot make good headway if there's a lot of negativity involved in that. It's just being smart with how you're being treated in general. Okay? I'm not sure. I may come back to that. I'm not my brain's not giving me any more words on that situation at the moment. So, Four of Cups. Seven of Coins. Coins, coins, coins. Earth, earth, earth. One more. And the Death card. So the Four of Cups here, you may notice he looks a little pouty. And he's alone, sometimes even depicted like on an island in the middle of nowhere, a deserted island or whatever, however you want to think about it. But this other cup's coming in, and it's coming in hot and flashy and with a lot of attention, but he's still like, nah, I'm good. And cups have to do with our emotional space, so this may very well be not willing to take in any new connections and really taking a time to pause, think about what you already have going on, thinking about your emotional attachments to things and how you feel. And this isn't a good place to stay in for a long time because you could miss some really awesome opportunities to connect with people if you're too within yourself. But sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need, like, especially with this renewal of peace being our main theme, we need that time to kind of just deal with our own emotional stuff and not deal with other people's. Even if it's a positive thing, you may just not have the time or the energy to give away to others right now. So don't get hard on yourself if you're kind of cutting off, not wanting to meet up with friends or not be socially engaged right now. I just feel like you have so much going on in your own home, in your own job, in your wherever all of these earth coin cards are coming out, your tangible space, that you may not have the emotional capacity to deal with others right now. And next is the Seven of Coins. So we have the 6, the 7, well, 3, 6, 7, 9. This is very heavy coin stuff. And the Seven of Coins a lot of times talks about thinking long term, putting in work, being mindful to keep at stuff. Like the way I see this card is he went and planted all of these coins, and he has been doing the work and waiting for them to grow and whatever, but he might have gotten a little negligent because some of them are looking like they're not perfect anymore. He might have neglected them a little bit, so it's time to like pick them up, wash them off, give away what doesn't suit you anymore, hang up what you have as a real value, and create a space that's comfortable and good and well taken care of, if that makes sense. And the Death card's coming out as our very last card. I'm going to do this card quickly and then stop my camera and maybe come back for an overview because we're getting to about 20 minutes now and my camera's probably going to shut off. The Death card is a completion so we can start something new. The Death card is scary to some people. I love the Death card. I'm a Scorpio, so the Death card makes sense to me. This constant like dying, ending, and creating something new. I feel like I've been a different person in my life countless times. It's like, okay, that person died. Like I don't even feel like disassociated with that part of my life almost, and I don't say that in a negative way. But it rose an opportunity for me to put all of that down and create what I really, really want. So that's what I see happening here, is you working through this stuff to be like, okay, I'm done living like that. I'm done with whatever this was. And I am now going to be able to get to a place where I can create the next part of my life the way I want it to be. And that's where I'm going to pause, and I'll be right back. All right, Gemini, I decided to leave the card sit down because I feel like I kind of shortchanged him. This is like creating this new life after something's come to a completion. That's when something gets the opportunity to start again. There's never really an end, right? It's just a cycle. It's got to come all the way back to that very, very end, but that's where the beginning is again. So please, Gemini, don't be scared of this. You shouldn't be. You're a Gemini. I think you get this a little bit. Geminis and Scorpios seem to have a mutual understanding about duality and some of these complex emotional things where we have to really get through something and really complete it and start something fresh. So overall, like I said, we had mostly cup cards, a sword card, or not a cup card. Sorry, I was looking at that one. Coin cards, a cup card, and a sword card. So this is a very tangible world month for you. And don't beat yourself up too much mentally or emotionally. I think overall, getting your physical space in good running order will lend to you being able to get more here, more aligned with your intuition, with your true self, with your deeper self, okay, let's start in the physical world. Things I can physically control. I can organize my space. I can take care of my space. And if my emotions and my thought processes aren't there, getting my physical space in check and taken care of and feeling really good is going to help lend itself to me getting to this peace where, okay, that's one less stress I have to deal with. Now I'm going to take some time for my mental health or my emotional health and those kinds of things. So let's go ahead and get these all cleaned up, and we are going to move to another deck. I have this deck right here. It's the Happy Tarot. It's a really cute, fun deck. I'm doing a reading.
Sorry, I forgot.
Thank you. And that was my little one. And with this deck, I'm going to pull specific cards for specific places. It's a method I've used before just to give us a little deeper insight. So I'm going to pull a card specifically for our mental space for the month of September. And this might, very well coincide with the first reading that gives us a little more into how all this is going to make us think and feel. we have the Two of Cups, which is a real emotional, authentic connection with someone. So with the other cards pulled out, I said that you may not be willing to take on a new thing because you're dealing with what you already have, but what you already have might be a really awesome connection. And that may be why you're not willing to emotionally connect with others. There's someone in your life that you do have a really good, authentic connection with, and you may need to give that some time and space. And this may be the person that's helping you clean out your home, or it may be, who knows? I don't know who this is. It could be a family member, a spouse, a friend, a coworker, whoever it is. But mentally, you're feeling really connected to them and happy to share space and time with them. And that may just be on your mind a lot. Maybe that's why you gotta get your house and stuff in order, because you got some love stuff on your brain. Who knows? But let's pull a card for your physical space. The Queen of Wands. Of course, all those coin cards coming out, the Queen of Wands, she is about beauty and passion and excitement. And a lot of it is in the physical world, creating, like I see her as a painter or an artist or designer, very in touch with how her space makes her feel and being actively engaged in it being a specific way, and not the type that sits back and lets somebody else decide how things are going to be. She's going to take control, and she's going to be excited about it, and it's something that the creative juices are flowing there. So this coming out in your physical space is a really good indicator that all the things you're doing in your physical space, from the other reading with being mindful of your charity and being mindful of creating a comfortable space and taking old things and making sure that they're taken care of properly, that kind of stuff, that could be creating, either coming from this excitement that you have for this, or doing those physical things is getting you in a more excited mental space. So that's a fun card to come out there. All right, Gemini, let's pull one for your emotional space. The Hermit. Okay. So, I was having a hard time reading this card coming out in your mental space because the other card told me that you weren't connecting. So maybe mentally someone is on your mind. Maybe this is what you want. Maybe you don't have that right now. Maybe, you're feeling like you don't have your soulmate. I hate that word. Don't get me started on that. And if you love that and believe in twin flames and all of that, that's awesome. I can't seem to make sense of it in my own brain. But so maybe this is something you want. Maybe that's why you're changing your home and getting your life in order, so you can feel like you've gotten yourself to a good space, so then you could have a good relationship with somebody else. I'm not negating anything else I said, but with the Hermit coming out in your emotional space, I mean, that's pretty straightforward, where you're feeling kind of inside of your own self, dealing with your own things. The Hermit is not someone who is alone, or someone who is lonely. He's not lonely. He's just alone. He chooses to take time for his own time, his own thoughts, his own feelings, his own stuff. And it allows him to have control over his perspective. It allows him time to decompress from the world, soak in, retain, understand, and take on his own ideas and feelings about the world that he experiences. I think it's really important to talk about with this card. This is not about being lonely. This is about being able to be alone. So, in my mind, with the other cards in this, for most of you, I feel like you probably are alone right now. You may not have a significant other, or you may not have a connection that you want. However, this is a good thing. It's a good thing to take time to readjust your focus and get more in alignment with the life that you really want to have and the connections you really want to have. Get your physical space in order so you can feel more comfortable and have some peace. And if you do have the option to create one of these friendships, you'll be in a place, a healthy place, where you can have a friendship or love or commitment like that. Let's pull a card for your spiritual space. And we have the Nine of Coins again. Fancy lady. I know she looks a bit different than she did on the other card, but this is the same kind of premise. Someone who seems to be extremely comfortable, has some excess, sitting in a really good position. So this may be part of your spiritual existence right now, is creating a sanctuary for yourself, creating a home space that feels good to you, that feels like I have put in this work, I've dedicated time and effort to create a space, not necessarily filled with luxurious things and I've spent all this money, but a space that feels good to me, that I created myself. I did the work, I took the time, I find value in the things that surround me. And so it brings me peace, it brings me fulfillment, it brings me to a place that makes me feel fancy, or makes me feel good, or makes me feel special. We should feel special in our own homes. Our home should be filled with things we love and find joy, and not because the neighbors have it and it's the thing. You know what I mean? So I believe this has been an absolutely beautiful reading. I think it shows some real progression and growth as a human being, and getting in better alignment of how you want to live in this suit of skin. I hate to say that, but really, how do we feel in this body? The cards I've intended to pull down here are suggestion cards. Sorry, I didn't say that out loud. I'm going to pull one more. So we have the Magician and the Devil. So this is your card anyway. But the Magician is really about taking all their resources and deliberately creating something, right? Magic is not like one little thing. You can't just slight someone's eye and it's created magic. Like, it's a multi-tier, like you have to hit all their senses kind of thing, and distract them in a way where you could create magic. Or if this is just manifesting in your own life, thinking about the resources, what do you have available to you? What are your strengths? What people do you have in your life that have certain, and my husband's yelling at the kids. I'm sure you can hear that. All right, Gemini, I apologize for that. And now my neighbor's dueling chainsaws are back. I don't know what it is with me trying to get this reading out to you all today, but it's been giving me a hard time. So let's go back and recap for me, because, well, life. Okay, so Magician and the Devil. I'm sure I was telling you about the Magician making use of their resources, thinking about all the tools at their disposal, what are their options, and these two cards are coming out as your suggestion cards. So this, with everything else of you getting your home more comfortable, it's going to be a time for you to really make use of your resources, get really smart about how you use things and how you think about the stuff in your home and what you're trying to create, the magic you're trying to create in your space, those kinds of things. And the Devil card, this has a lot, typically points to your bad behaviors, things that control you, addictions, loss of power, giving your power to someone else or something else. So, but this is coming out in your suggestion card. So I would take this as being mindful of what controls you. If you do have bad behaviors, addictions, so forth, as I was saying earlier about unplugging. Are you addicted to your phone? Are you addicted to sugar? Are you addicted, like it doesn't have to be like you're a heroin junkie. I'm saying addictions come in all shapes and sizes, and to get really mindful about what you're allowing to control your time or your space or your energy and whatnot. So also, you might just need a little bit of devil in you. You might have to go have some fun or do something that's outside of what you typically do. This might be go have a crazy, night with friends and whatnot, but more likely than not, it's just calling attention to things you're doing that aren't serving you, and behaviors that you're allowing to control your life, those kinds of things. So I think this has been an absolutely beautiful reading for you, Gemini. I really hope I don't have a problem uploading it this time, and I really hope that you enjoyed it and you didn't mind our silly interruptions and the chaos and now the chainsaws. That's my cue to be done filming for the day, and I'm gonna go enjoy some time with my family. I hope you have an amazing September. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please message me below, or, leave a comment, or if you would like to privately interact with me, my other social medias are linked below. I have no problem chatting with people, so reach out if you would like to. If you'd like to see what I have to say in the future, just remember to subscribe, throw me a like if you resonated with this, all that stuff's super cool, and be well. I will talk to you soon. Bye.